get on with the conclave. Throughout the evening, we will delve into pressing issues facing forest and wildlife conservation, which will be followed by a tea break. Let's kick off our program with the first panel of a national conclave. Thank you so much, sir. Our first session brings forth the discussion on the topic, promoting eco-friendly tourism that protects wildlife. IFS officers are the ultimate ecotourism guides. They ensure our wildlife safaris and nature trails are fun for us and kind to the planet. By protecting habitats and keeping wildlife friendly, they make sure every adventure helps both nature and local communities. They're crafting a tourism experience that not only conserves nature, but also makes us fall even more in love with the great outdoors. I invite Mr. Gobind Sagar Bharadwaj, Additional Director General NTCA, Mr. Dheeraj Pandey, Chief Conservator of Forest Kumaon, and Ms. Malathi Priya M, Chief Conservator of Forest Bengaluru, to join us on stage to discuss their insights and experiences in fostering sustainable tourism practices. Their expertise will provide valuable perspectives on how to balance environmental conservation with tourism development. Senior journalist Ms. Mukta Singh will be moderating this session. I please welcome all of you to the stage. Govind sir? I believe he's not present here. He is? I am extremely sorry for the delay. Okay, I invite Mr. DVS Khati, former PCCF and HOF Uttarakhand, to please come up on the stage and take part in this panel discussion. We shall now begin with the panel.
Namaskar, good afternoon. I'm Mukta Singh and welcome to today's panel discussion on a very pertinent topic, responsible wildlife tourism in India. And we are honored to have an esteemed panel with us to discuss this important topic. And so please join me in welcoming our distinguished guests. I think Dr. Gobind Sagar ji is not here, so Khati sir is here or at his place. And Dheeraj Pandey, Chief Conservator of Forests in Kumaon, and Malathi Priya M, Chief Conservator of Forests in Bengaluru. Thank you all for joining us. Mysore, okay. इसके पहले कि हम लोग डिस्कशन स्टार्ट करें, मैं आप लोगों को ये बता दूं कि कुछ बातें मैं करूंगी और आप लोगों को भी कुछ बातें करने का मौका दिया जाएगा, क्योंकि इवन यू विल हैव दिस लिबर्टी कि आप अपने जो भी डाउट्स हैं या जो भी बातें हैं वो आप इनसे कर पाइए इस स्टीम पैनल के साथ, तो आपको भी ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी. सो थैंक यू ऑल फॉर जॉइनिंग अस अगेन. सबसे पहले ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस डिस्कशन. As we all know, wildlife tourism in India is growing rapidly, and with it, the need for responsible practices to ensure that this tourism does not adversely affect our ecosystem. So, Sir Khati sir, my first question to you, being a retired IFS officer, you have an extensive experience in managing wildlife resources. So, can you start by explaining what responsible wildlife tourism means from a conservation perspective?
Hello. Yeah. Thank you. Responsible tourism is that it should not damage the environment, and the resource on which tourism is based should be in perpetuity in future also, that the next generation can see it. So any management of wildlife tourism or nature tourism should be that it should sustain ecologically, economically, and socially. And these are the three principles on which any responsible tourism is based. And I personally feel that if you follow these three principles, the wildlife tourism or nature tourism will survive for perpetuity for our coming generations.
ओके सर, थैंक यू फॉर अ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव एक्सप्लेनेशन. वेरी एक्चुअली ये सवाल मैंने इसलिए किया था क्योंकि बहुत कम लोग एक्चुअली रिस्पॉन्सिबल वाइल्ड लाइफ टूरिज्म का मतलब समझते हैं. वील कम विद दैट अगेन. धीरज सर, एज द चीफ कंजर्वेटर ऑफ फॉरेस्ट इन कुमायूं, you oversee some of the most visited wildlife reserves in India. So what are the challenges that you face and how do you address them?
See, the primary challenge which we as forest officers and especially the park managers in the state of Uttarakhand, if I talk about, we face is, the implementation of the rules and regulations. The tourists which are visiting the forest areas, especially the protected areas like Corbett and Rajaji Tiger Reserves, there are certain rules which needs to be enforced.
Correct.
So that is part one. Part two is, as you've already mentioned, a very pertinent topic about the responsible tourism. So there are certain guidelines, certain do's and don'ts. So that needs to be enforced. And for that, there are a lot of other measures which we take. I'll come to that in a while. Another problem is, inculcating a sense of pride among the locals. That is something where the tourists actually connect with the local people who are living in the fringe forest areas. See, when the tourists visit a forest area, it is the first interaction happens with the guide which is taking the tourist inside the protected area, or the driver of the gypsy which is taking them for a safari. So training and motivating those guides and drivers, that is another important aspect, because they are the first phase of interaction which actually happens with the tourist. And the tourist actually, when it visits the park and when it goes out of the park after 4 hours doing a safari in the tiger reserve or in any protected area, it carries that experience with him. The kind of experience. So it's more about feeling the forest along with the person which is taking care of the tourist in that sense. So it's either way, forcing rules, making people aware how to behave in the forest.
Correct.
And also training and actually, trying to, inculcate a sense of belonging in the among the gypsy drivers and also the guides, because they are the first phase which a tourist actually sees and interacts with.
Yeah, correct. Whatever you said, these are the significant challenges indeed. Malti ji, what do you say on this? You are in Mysore, right?
Yeah.
So what are the challenges that you face, and like Dheeraj ji mentioned, do you agree with that?
Of course, what Dheeraj ji mentioned, I also accept to all those challenges that we are facing. And first of all, I would like to just tell about today is a Forest Martyrs Day. On this particular day, we are celebrating this Eco Warrior Awards. I feel it's very pertinent and it's very composing for me to have it in such an auspicious day. So I first of all congratulate to everybody who have taken this chance to conduct this program on such a day. And coming to your point, like as you told, yes, of course, conducting eco-friendly tourism is a very, very challenging aspect, especially in the state of Karnataka. If you take where the place I come from is Mysore, and you all know that Mysore area has two major tiger reserves. One is Bandipur Tiger Reserve and another is Nagarhole Tiger Reserve. In both the tiger reserves, yes, we do face such kind of problems, and we are trying to sort out. Like in state of Karnataka, we are doing a very responsible tourism in the way we calculate the carrying capacity, and as per the carrying capacity, we leave the vehicles inside. So that's very important when you talk about this a sort of a good tourism, a responsible tourism. So from the department side itself, we take this initiative and we do less number of vehicles. We ply less number of vehicles as per the carrying capacity. And as Mr. Dheeraj was mentioning, we are also doing many awareness programs across. Whoever the tourist comes inside the national park area, we conduct many awareness programs for them and we tell them how you have to behave inside the forest area so that there's no pollution and sort of disturbance to the wild animals is minimal. That's what we are taking care of, and we are going ahead with so many lots of other programs also. Like I would like to quote about the Bandipur Yuva Mitra, which we have taken up recently, and bringing out lots of awareness programs among the local students. They are very, very important for us, and among the local Gram Panchayat members, villagers also. And we also connect with the local communities who are very, very important for us, because most of the areas adjoining, there are around 316 villages which is adjoining to the Bandipur Tiger Reserve itself. So we have to take care of those local communities. Bringing them as part of the responsible tourism is very, very important, and we are doing that.
Ma'am, you mentioned a very important thing, awareness program. So are they mandatory for tourists, and you think that would help?
Yeah, of course. Awareness program. See, every scheme that we are projecting, there should be an awareness program and the training programs, because what was, as Mr. Dheeraj was mentioning about certain rules and regulations. How will the public know about those rules and regulations if you are not going to conduct such awareness programs? And I feel it's
And the
very,
kind
very
of programs we are
important.
having, do you think it's sufficient? I think we should have more and more awareness programs.
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm trying to bring about. As an example, I told about this Bandipur Yuva Mitra program, through
Correct.
which we are conducting the awareness to the students and villagers. I feel such sort of programs should come up all over the India as such, if we have to make a very responsible tourism. That's what. Thank
So
you.
now coming to you again, मैंने आपसे जो पहला सवाल पूछा था कि बहुत सारे लोग जानते नहीं कि रिस्पॉन्सिबल वाइल्ड लाइफ टूरिज्म की बात करिए, तो नाउ कमिंग आई मीन टॉकिंग फ्रॉम द पीपल्स पर्सपेक्टिव, लेमैन की भाषा में अगर बात करें, तो वेन एवर यू टॉक अबाउट वाइल्ड लाइफ टूरिज्म, द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट एकोज इन आवर माइंड इज द ओनली एनिमल टाइगर. तो सेलिब्रिटी है एनिमल्स के, वो तो बात सही है, एंड वाई नॉट, हम लोग भी उनको उसको कॉपी करते हैं, लेकिन वाई टाइगर, वाई ओनली टाइगर सर?
Problem with the wildlife tourism in India is the star animal in star national parks. You know, the tiger is the star animal, and there are few national parks where everybody wants to visit, but nobody would like to go to Dampa in Mizoram or some other national parks. I will not mention their name. What she was telling, that the responsible tourism, we are trying to promote it, but any good thing of today become bad thing of tomorrow.
Correct.
The first example I will give you the guides service in Corbett Tiger Reserve. Corbett was the first tiger reserve where the guides were introduced by Mr. Elite A.S. Negi, who was field director. By the time I became director, they became nuisance. Surendra and Dheeraj are here. They know what are the problems they are facing it. So awareness is very good. Involvement of communities are good. When communities' interest is linked with the tiger reserve or national park, it's become problem. So how to break the nexus of their business interests and awareness? This is the biggest thing we have to solve. Otherwise, you will see that today the gypsy people are going on strike, tomorrow guides are going, somebody is locking the doors. I have faced all these things when I was Director Corbett. So the best example probably is the Kanha Tiger Reserve. Sanjay is sitting here. The first awareness example where the interpretation centers, visitor centers were created was in Kanha, where the Center for Environment Education, and in that time, and the field director of that, they initiated this thing, where the orientation programs and other responsible tourism programs were introduced, and I hope till they are very successful. But you go to other tiger reserve, I will not mention their names, and sometimes it becomes so difficult. The moment they will see a tiger, it will surrounded by gypsies. And I have photographs that at least 100 people are surrounding a tiger or tigress, and that animal is poorly sitting there. And sometimes they become violent. Then what is the response? Finally, you eliminate the animal. So my question is that if you are thinking of responsible tourism, especially in wildlife, people should be responsible themselves also.
Correct.
It's not the duty of the department or the other people. You go anywhere in Africa and other places, nobody will behave like that we are doing in India, in Indian national parks. But Corbett, we tried to implement very strict rules, and probably still they are continuing those rules. They are successful. Similarly, we should also try to other national parks, but there's a big wildlife tourism lobby whose investment and other things are dependent on seeing tigers and other things. The tiger becomes so, there are many other beautiful things. You know, we have a regular birding group coming from Europe to Corbett, and they were not going to see any tigers, and they are only concentrating on birds. So the unique birds in our national parks, and especially in different parts of the country, they are more, for them, they are more, were more important than the tiger. So you said the tiger, so I always say that this is the other problem is that there are many tiger reserves very close to New Delhi. Every weekend you will get a call from Delhi that so-and-so is coming, we need 5
So
rooms.
you will not
in that 10
believe, we
room.
meet people, they
Yeah.
just have one thing. यार टाइगर देखने को नहीं मिल रहा है, इतनी सफारी की लेकिन उसके बाद भी टाइगर नहीं मिलता है, तो they are only, you know,
Yeah,
when
that's
they talk
the-
about
that's the-
wildlife tourism, they just think about tiger. तो मैंने
Yeah.
बल्कि एक बार मजाक में बोला भी था
नहीं,
कि
मैंने
भाई,
आपसे ये कहा ना कि
औरों को भी तो
एक
बुरा
हमारे
लगेगा।
यहाँ स्टार एनिमल और स्टार नेशनल पार्क्स बन गए हैं, और कॉर्बेट में एक प्रॉब्लम और है, कॉर्बेट में रेस्ट हाउसेस भी स्टार हो गए। हमने कहा भाई आप खिनानौली में रुके, अगर आप खिनानौली रुके यू हैव स्टेटस वेरी हाई, ओल्ड एफआरएच में रुके योर स्टेटस इज लिटिल लेसर बट यू आर दिस थिंग. So probably we have created such environment, especially in sitting in places where we create atmospheres about animals. Probably the Oriental Center and the Interpretation Center, like in Kanha, now many the national parks and sanctuaries are adopting that thing. I saw in Periyar also. Probably it will make difference, but it will not make difference which are adopted to old style of wildlife tourism.
So sir, we accept that tiger is a brand ambassador, is needed to draw attention to the whole universe.
Yeah, tiger is a brand ambassador. Probably we only advertise tigers, but not other wildlife sanctuary. When I was seeing the poster, I was just discussing with Suren. Then when I saw the elephant, African elephant in the poster, I was really surprised. So I said that if you want the day before yesterday, I was in Tamil Nadu in Chennai and went to the tourism office. Uttarakhand tourism department was promoting the African rhinos and African elephants in the poster to come to Delhi. So probably we are also not aware, government is not aware that which animals we have. If we have tiger, India is lucky. We have the highest population of tiger in the world, and its credit goes to the forest department to protect them and to the people who are living all around. But I hope there are many other animals also which have it.
मैंने तो बोला सर बुरा मान जाएंगे बाकी एनिमल्स, ऐसा भी क्या है?
देखिए एक स्नो लेपर्ड देखने के लिए हिमाचल और लेह में जो है आजकल लोग जाते हैं. विंटर टूरिज्म स्टार्टेड टू सी अ स्नो लेपर्ड. Similarly, if you see a rare animal like the makhor, other animal in Jammu and Kashmir, makhor is such a rare animal. See that beautiful animal. It has its own beauty. Even people have not seen that in zoological parks. मार्खोर को अगर वाइल्ड में देख लीजिए किस टाइप का खूबसूरत एनिमल है. एंड एलिफेंट इज इक्वली ब्यूटीफुल. अभी आपका जो मेन फोटो लगा है असलम साहब का फोटोग्राफ है बाहर एलिफेंट का. व्हाट ए ब्यूटी इट इज फ्रॉम द कॉर्बेट.
Malti ji, we just got to know that recently we got to know that there are some apps also which gives us information about tourism and do's and don'ts.
Of course, there are many apps as far as Karnataka is concerned. Yes, we are having many apps, and even the online. We have our own tourism department, Karnataka Forest Department, tourism-related website also, through which we can see many of the things that's happening in and around, and what are all the areas which you can visit. As sir was telling, there we used to depict not only the tiger, the other important species which are present over in our forest area. That is also being done. That's also, it's taking place.
So now, Dheeraj ji, आप बहुत देर से शांत बैठे हैं. Isn't this contradictory that on one hand we are trying to promote wildlife tourism, but on the other hand, isn't this impacting the wildlife behavior or disturbing the animals? So is there some balance we need to strike?
देखिए ये जो प्रश्न आपने पूछा है ये इतना रिलेवेंट है और इससे ज़्यादा रिलेवेंस और किसी चीज़ की हो नहीं सकती आज के परिप्रेक्ष्य में अगर हम बात करें तो. जैसे मैंने शुरू में भी बताया कि जो टूरिस्ट आता है विजिट करने प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया में, वो बहुत राउडी बिहेवियर होता है उसका। तो हमारी कोशिश ये होती है कि उसको हम ओरिएंटेशन करें पार्क में अंदर जाने से पहले।
बिल्कुल।
सो वी ट्राई एंड लेट देम नो व्हाट आर द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस दे हैव टू फॉलो इनसाइड। उसका कारण है, क्योंकि जो आपने बिहेवियर की बात करी वो डेफिनेटली, बिकॉज अगर टाइगर की साइटिंग होती है कहीं पर और एक नहीं दो नहीं वहाँ पे 10 जिप्सी या 15 जिप्सी उसका रास्ता रोकती हैं, तो एक तरीके से टाइगर एजिटेट होता है, इरिटेट होता है। या एलिफेंट है, आप उसके बहुत पास चले जाते हैं, वो एक डोसाइल जानवर है, वो अपनी सीमाएं जानता है। देन एनिमल ऑल्सो रिस्पेक्ट योर डिस्टेंस, राइट। बट अगर आप बहुत उसके पास जाते हैं तो फिर वो एजिटेट होता है, आपकी तरफ चार्ज करता है। और जनरली ये फोटोग्राफर्स के साथ बहुत मैंने देखा है कॉर्बेट में, फोटोग्राफर्स आते थे, वो प्रोवोक करते थे टाइगर जिप्सी ड्राइवर्स को कि वो पास में जाएं टाइगर के, ताकि वो इरिटेट हो और उनको अच्छे शॉट्स मिलें, वो एग्रेसिव शॉट्स लेने के लिए। या फॉर दैट मैटर बर्ड नेस्ट है उसको डिस्टर्ब करते हैं, बर्ड कॉल्स टूरिस्ट प्ले करते थे पहले, अब तो खैर रूल्स बहुत हमने स्ट्रिक्ट कर दिए। सो व्हाट वी डिड वाज वी स्टार्टेड GPS in all the gypsies, we installed GPS, so we were able to track the congregation of gypsies, we were also able to track the off-roading of gypsies, the speed limit is to be adhered to। तो ये रेड फ्लैग्स हमारे पास ऑनलाइन आ जाते थे, हमें पता चल जाता था, देन वी टुक स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन। तो वो एक चीज़ रेगुलेट डेफिनेटली हुई है। दूसरा जो मैंने पहले भी बताया, बिहेवियर जानवरों का बदलता है, चेंज होता है। अगर वो आप उससे बहुत ज़्यादा उसके पास जाते हैं, उसे परेशान करने की कोशिश करते हैं। हमने ओरिएंटेशन वर्कशॉप्स कराए जो हमारे ड्राइवर्स और गाइड्स थे उनके लिए, और वो एक बहुत अच्छा एक पहल रही, क्योंकि उससे लगभग 750 ड्राइवर्स और गाइड्स मिला के लगभग उनकी वर्कशॉप्स रहीं, और उनको भी हमने बताया वो कहाँ गलतियाँ करते हैं। We also started a feedback mechanism from the tourists, so that we get online feedback of tourists who are visiting the forest areas and coming out of the tiger reserve, so that we get to know कि हमको कहाँ improvement करना है। So it's a constant process which is there, but definitely tigers जो एक solitary जानवर होता है, अपनी territory बनाता है, वो हमारे दिमाग में एक concept हुआ करता था। और कॉर्बेट में वो सारे एक तरीके से मिथ हमने देखे हैं, क्योंकि मेल्स वर 2 या 3 मेल्स एक साथ एक ही टेरिटरी में रह रहे हैं, फीमेल साथ में रह रही हैं, साथ में हंट कर रहे हैं, पैक की तरह जैसे लायंस हंट करते हैं, उस तरीके का बिहेवियर भी हमने देखा है। और ये एक बार नहीं, ये लगातार अलग अलग डिफरेंट जोन्स में इस तरीके का बिहेवियर हमने देखा है टाइगर्स के साथ। सो डेफिनेटली देयर इज़ अ बिहेवियर विच इज़।
ये आपने बहुत अच्छी बात बताई, बहुत बढ़िया इनिशिएटिव है, लेकिन अपने देश में तो एक परेशानी है कि आप लाख नियम कानून बना लीजिए, तोड़ने वाले भी बहुत हैं। खैर मालती जी, हम ये देखा गया कि कितनी बार ऐसा हुआ है कि एनिमल्स ने टूरिस्ट पर अटैक किया है। आपने तो इसके लिए स्पेशल टास्क फोर्स भी बनाई थी, तो आपको लगता है कि डिड इट हेल्प, एंड इफ yes, then it should be replicated at other places also?
Of course, in our state of Karnataka, we have formed a task force, yes, of course, and that's mainly for the elephant task force and the leopard task force we have created, especially when there is a conflict issue. For that purpose, we have created. Inside the tiger area, yes, we have created the special tiger protection force. Of course, they come into picture whenever there is some sort of a problem. But I'll tell you, maybe till now, there is no such incidents have happened in the tourism area where the tourists have been attacked by the wild animals. No such incidents have taken place. But still, we have a force at hand, as you are telling. When there is a need, then sure, we will be rushing and helping them out. But no such incidents till date.
ग्रेट सर, क्योंकि इसके बारे में बात करें तो आजकल ह्यूमन और वाइल्ड लाइफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो है बहुत ज़्यादा देखने को मिल रहा है। आए दिन कहीं ना कहीं से कुछ खबरें आती रहती हैं, एंड वी ऑल नो दैट इट कैन नॉट बी इरेडिकेटेड कम्प्लीटली, बट येस वी कैन डेफिनेटली मिनिमाइज द इम्पैक्ट। तो आपको क्या लगता है, क्या इसका सोल्यूशन है? हाउ टू क्रिएट अ हार्मोनियस को एग्जिस्टेंस बिटवीन ह्यूमन्स एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ?
Probably the access to informations present time is more responsible for man-wildlife conflict, human-wildlife interaction. Now people start saying this is not conflict, it's the interaction. If you remember that how many human beings were killed by the Champaut tigress, 250 in India, and before that she killed more than that in Nepal. So that time, if you just guesstimate that around 400 or 500 people were killed by the tigers, and finally she was eliminated by Corbett. And I was Chief Wildlife Warden and PCC of Uttarakhand for 5 years, and within my tenure of 5 years, I gave permission to kill 18 leopard, 2 tigers, and we trapped many leopards also. And especially in all the 13 districts of Uttarakhand, we have such a massive problem of leopard killing, especially children, attacking them, lifting school-going children. and there was a lot of agitation. A case was filed against me in the Human Rights Court that I'm not doing anything to protect the children. And so I started giving frequent orders to eliminate the animal or trap the animal. The animal activists filed a case against me in the High Court that I am killing animals. So it's a situation. One side is saying that save the animals, and other side is saying save the children. This situation happening, and especially in Uttarakhand, you remove any animal, you kill animal, you trap animal, it will be replaced by within 15 days or 20 days by another animal. And the other problem in hills, which I personally feel that because I belong to Uttarakhand and I have lived in my childhood in Nainital and other areas. So my problem is that earlier small prey base like ghural, the barking deer, and people used to abandon male calf of buffaloes in the wild, and the leopard was feeding on that. Today, hardly we have any prey base left in the hills, and the male calves are also going to beef market in places like this thing. So there's hardly anything. They are taking either your wild dog or young children. I was a DFO Garhwal, and just below the circuit house in Pauri, and 6:30, the mother was boiling eggs and the girl was sitting there. There was a dog. The leopard appeared from nowhere and wanted to kill the dog, but dog was smart. It left the place, and the child was lifted from that. 6:30 in the evening. So I went there, and we couldn't trace the body. Next day, full eaten body of the girl was traced. So the suggestion for the people is that if you are looking for solution to the especially leopard problem in any state, we have to either increase the prey base in the hills, or at least like Sundarbans, now they have the plastic net all around the villages. At least this first obstruction, and it's not very expensive. Suppose in hills we have 4 or 5 houses in a small hamlets, so we can have that at least 6 feet tall. It will protect the animal from entering into the village, and that would be very successful. I tried my time that at least as an experiment we can do in some villages, but I don't know whether they are doing it or not. And
So the kind of experience you have, आपकी कहानियाँ ऐसी हैं कि शायद वाकई हम लोगों के पास वक्त की कमी है, वरना हम लोग सुनते ही रह जाएंगे. खैर, एक बार फिर इसके लिए कुछ और प्रोग्राम करेंगे और मौका ढूंढेंगे. धीरज जी, ये पॉइंट क्योंकि मैं मिस नहीं करना चाहती हूँ, शुड देयर बी अ डेटाबेस? आपको लगता है डेटाबेस या एक रेटिंग सिस्टम होना चाहिए फॉर द टूरिस्ट दैट कैन गिव अ बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग टू द ऑफिशियल्स टू इंश्योर ऑल दैट ऑल द गाइडलाइंस हैव बीन मेट, और जो नहीं कर रहा है उसके लिए एंट्री डिनाई होनी चाहिए?
हाँ, ये बात आपकी बिल्कुल सही है, और हमने प्रयास ये किया है, जैसा मैंने बताया, हमने वी डिज़ाइंड अ फीडबैक सिस्टम जहाँ पर हमें टूरिस्ट का फीडबैक मिलता है गाइड्स और ड्राइवर्स के बारे में, और गाइड्स और ड्राइवर्स का फीडबैक मिलता है टूरिस्ट के बारे में. हमारे डेस्क बने हुए हैं जहाँ पे कंप्लेन की जा सकती है अगर टूरिस्ट का राउडी बिहेवियर हो, और हम उन्हें बैन भी करते हैं. वी हैव इशूड लास्ट ईयर अराउंड 10 डिफेमेशन नोटिसेस टू डिफरेंट टूरिस्ट फॉर different objectionable contents which they posted on, whether on Twitter or on other social medias. We got unconditional apology letters. We have that. We publicize that also. That is part 1. Part 2 is obviously, unless कि आप मैं बार बार वही चीज़ कहता हूँ कि हमें कम्युनिटीज़ के साथ एंगेज होना बहुत ज़रूरी इंपॉर्टेंट है, और उनको हमको ये क्योंकि हमारे जो ड्राइवर्स हैं और गाइड्स हैं वो सब कम्युनिटीज़ के मेंबर्स हैं, तो उनको हम लोग मोटिवेट करें, उनको हम लोग समझाएं कि आप हमारा चेहरा हैं टू पब्लिक के सामने. पार्क डायरेक्टर को कोई नहीं जानता है जो टूरिस्ट आ रहा है, उसको पता भी नहीं कौन है वो. उसे तो वो ड्राइवर और गाइड जो उसे 4 घंटे घुमा रहा है उस जिप्सी में, उसको तो वो इंटरेक्शन मिल रहा है, वेदर वो उसे टाइगर दिखा पा रहा है या उसे फॉरेस्ट. इन कॉर्बेट वी से नो इट्स मोर अबाउट फीलिंग द टाइगर देन सीइंग द टाइगर, बिकॉज इतनी सारी चीज़ें हैं कॉर्बेट में देखने के लिए. I have had experience of meeting people who've been coming from far away places like US and Canada and Europe just to see ibis bill. उनको पता है उत्तराखंड में 2 या 3 जगह उन्हें ibis bill दिखेगा और वो वहीं आते हैं, या ऑटर खींचने के लिए, वो फोटो खींचने के लिए आएंगे, उन्हें टाइगर सामने से जाएगा भी, दे आर नॉट बॉदर्ड. सच काइंड ऑफ टूरिस्ट ऑल्सो वी गेट, बट दे आर अ रेयरिटी. ज़्यादातर टूरिस्ट केवल टाइगर की वजह से आता है, और टाइगर के ऑरा के पीछे वो सारी चीज़ें छुप जाती हैं जो और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं. और उसमें मैं ये अपॉर्चुनिटी लेके ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ, ये जो आपने प्रोग्राम किया है टू रिकग्नाइज पीपल हु हैव बीन वर्किंग टायरलेसली, जिनको हम शायद उतनी महत्व दे नहीं पाते, क्योंकि ये सब चीज़ें जंगल के अंदर होती हैं. जो ये काम कर रहे हैं, जो मेहनत कर रहे हैं, वो बाहर नहीं रिफ्लेक्ट होती है कहीं ना कहीं. तो ये बहुत अच्छा एक एफर्ट है. or I would like to congratulate the whole team behind this effort, and also IFS Association has taken a wonderful step, क्योंकि वो recognition मिलना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, sir, and we really appreciate. Hats off to the whole team. Last question, Malti ji. Don't you feel it's high time to move towards compassionate, responsible wildlife tourism?
Yeah, of course. I do accept that one. See, the way we feel as a humans, how do we feel? That's more important. The wildlife will also feel the same way. So we have to be compassionate enough, and it should be a responsible tourism, and it's high time. And I think it's a long way to go. I think we have started a step ahead in creating the responsible tourism, and I think a long way to go ahead. And we will surely, together, joining hands, we can bring a responsible tourism in each and every park that's present in our country. That's
Yes,
what
sustainability and wildlife
Yes.
should go hand in hand.
Hand in hand, that
So,
will be sure.
last question. मैं आप सबसे वादा खिलाफी कर रही हूँ. मैंने कहा था आपको भी मौका मिलेगा सवाल पूछने का, but sorry, भक्ति ने मना कर दिया है. तो आप उससे बात करनी पड़ेगी. सर, आखिरी सवाल आप तीनों से मेरा कि just one suggestion from each of you कि can responsible tourism becomes a reality in India?
Yeah, why not? That's what our attitude and mindset. With these, we can really bring a responsible tourism in our country like India. Thank you.
हाँ बिल्कुल सर. एक मिनट.
My name is Anup Badwa. I am former Principal Chief Conservator of Forest Maharashtra. Worked as Joint Director Project Tiger also way back in '93. Since Lady Chief Conservator is there, so I want to take you all to the historical perspective of tourism in Tiger Reserve. How it started. It was one of the very first steering committee of Project Tiger meetings in 1978, and it relates to Bandipur. Bandipur is in the center. A very renowned member of the steering committee, Professor C.M. Krishnan, was highly opposed even to the research work in any tiger reserve. And Bandipur was the focal point because their research was going on wild dogs. So he was deadly against it, that even for research work, even men on foot should not be allowed to the tiger reserves. That was the situation. Another viewpoint was Professor Madhav Gadgil. He was also a member of the steering committee. He was of the opinion that no, we should allow the research work in the Project Tigers. Otherwise, how come we know about the progress and the ultimate management inputs to be given to the tiger reserves? So that was his viewpoint. 3 meetings were held from 78 to 79, and this issue was the bone of contention and was highly argued between the two. But ultimately, the chairman of the steering committee, that time was Professor H.M. Patel, he was Minister of Agriculture, actually who strike the balance, saying that man and animal should be in coexistence, and with mutual respect, they should keep the distance. But after all, animals are also for humans. So that's how the research work, not only the research work in the Project Tiger started, and that went on, but also it became the first guideline for tourism also in the tiger reserves, that we should have a regulated, sustainable tourism in tiger reserve with mutual respect between the animal and the humans. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
थैंक यू एवरीवन फॉर सच एन इंसाइटफुल कॉन्वर्सेशन. और सबसे बड़ी बात जो इस पूरे डिस्कशन से यही निकली कि बिफोर टॉकिंग अबाउट रिस्पॉन्सिबल वाइल्ड लाइफ टूरिज्म वी हैव टू बिहेव रिस्पॉन्सिबली. क्योंकि डिपार्टमेंट क्या करेगा, गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी, ये तो दूर की बात है, बट वॉट आर वी डूइंग, वी हैव टू first focus on that. So thank you so much everybody for joining us, and thank you everyone.
What an
Thanks a
engaging
lot.
conversation. Thank you so much.